If you go to the gym, you need to hear this message. I've been working out for about 5 to 6 years now, coached dozens and dozens and dozens of people online and in person, all right? And I've been very, very observant as of recent to the people who get results versus the people who don't. We see some people who've been going for a while, but it looks like they're making no progress, when other people make crazy progress in a short amount of time. But the one thing that separates a respectable physiques from the average physiques is going to be failure, right? Pushing to failure. Now I'm gonna explain exactly why this is just not just another video that's trying to motivate you, right? It's gonna give you actual context to why pushing to failure is the reason you aren't making the gains you wanna make, right? I was just working out with one of my all method brothers, and he's also been going to the gym for a long time, and he prides himself on how hard he pushes himself. And we had hit an in-person workout. We hit legs, and I pushed him to real failure, to where he thought maybe he didn't have another one, but he had another one, and he had another one, and he had another one, right? And by the end of it, he said this is the greatest and the hardest leg workout he's ever had in his life. And we didn't do that many sets. I think we did total of 8 top sets, 8 working sets. And his mind was blown, right? Because he'd been working out for so long and he never experienced this. And I asked him, I was like, is this better? He said, yes, this is way better. And I've had this experience so many times. It's not the technique. It's not the split, right? It's not the sets. It's not the reps. It's not the specific exercise, brother. It's the effort. This is what I see time and time again. Now, the reason this is why most people have mid physiques is I want you to look at newbie gains. When people just start going to the gym and they get massive gains, like you can see the difference week by week, this is called newbie gains. And there's a name for it because it happens to almost everyone, right? You get the most results right in the beginning. And this is because right in the beginning, when you start, right, you're putting your body under stimulus that has never been put under before. And by doing so, your body then tells itself, you better adapt so that next time we do the same exercise, I am not destroyed. So next time we do the same exercise, my arms aren't burning, right? Let me send all my resources to preparing for the next time, to recovering from this time and preparing for the next time, right? Now you start going month, 2 months, 3 months, still getting these newbie gains, right? You're pushing yourself, getting faster, stronger. The progressive overload is crazy. And then 6 months hits, you start hitting a plateau. Your numbers aren't going up. Your physique isn't changing that much. What happened, brother, right? Your body stopped getting novelty, right? It stopped getting progressive overload. It stopped getting stimulus that it had never seen before, right? Your body can only go so long with 1 rep in reserve before it's like, we're comfortable here. We don't got to change. Now, take a different look. We're 6 months in, you are pushing to your absolute limit. Failure, right? When you think you have no more on squats or on leg extensions or on bench press, you do that one more to where your body's like, no, 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 no. And you do it anyways, right? You best believe your body's gonna have to recover for that next set, right? That was uncomfortable. That was scary. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do that. You're saying that at a mental level, and your body also knows that. And so it's gotta come back next time to prepare for that same weight. Right, now there's multiple types of progressive overload. You have reps, you have weight, you have form, which is basically mind-muscle connection, and then you have time under tension, right? How long you're under tension for. Now, a different type of progressive overload that I don't hear talked about almost ever, right? You usually only hear reps and weight, is going to be effort, brother, right? Effort. Once you stop being capable of giving that progressive overload, when you stop getting more reps and having more weight, the progressive overload is then required to be effort, right? Can I give more effort than last time? Can I push past my edge even more? Because our bodies are capable of doing more than we tell ourselves. And the better you build a skill, the more comfortable your body will become with pushing its edge. And then it can go even further and further and further. I wish I looked up the stat before this video. You know what? I'm gonna pause the video, look up the stat right now. All right, brothers, here it is. When you feel done, you have usually only utilized roughly 30 to 40% of your total strength potential, right? Even after hitting mental failure, the muscles still hold significant force capacity, although the ability to generate that force voluntarily is inhibited by central nervous system fatigue, right? In addition, the 40% rule, popularized by the Navy SEALs, this concept suggests that when your mind convinces you to quit, your body still has 60% of its capacity left. Now this opens a whole new level of working out that no one talks about, right? Your capacity to find that extra 60%, right? This is a skill, and it is only gotten by pushing beyond the mental illusion of the 40%. You have to walk in the gym with the goal of pushing past that 40% and accessing the rest of that muscle that you have not been using all these years, right? This will give you the progressive overload you need for your body to then have to adapt to the force you're giving it, right? And then of course, you eat your food, you eat your protein, you eat your carbs, you eat your fats, and you grow, brother. You grow. Look how much progress I made in 4 months, right? By implementing this type of progressive overload. And once you are progressive overloading your effort, it then leaks into tension and reps and strength, right? But you have to take that first step, brother. Now, one thing my buddy said, he's like, yeah, I try to push myself, but a lot of times I work out with guys who their standards are below me. So I'm the one who I feel like I'm trying to bring them up, right? Get around brothers who push you, bro. Get around brothers whose failures are their only option. My coach, Sam Godhealth, huge, way bigger than me. He pushes harder than me, right? He is capable of pushing harder than me. He is capable of reaching that 60%. He's dipped his hand further in the bucket than I have been capable of dipping my hand. But I will get there, right? Because he has been implementing this principle for way longer than me. Okay, brother? And so how do you actually push yourself when you don't want to, right? Number one, like I said, get around people who are going to force you to push yourself. And number two, make it a sport, brother, right? Treat it like a sport. Treat it like this is the skill of, instead of just going through the motions, go with the intention of going as hard as you can, right? While keeping form, of course. I don't want to discredit that stuff, right? But this is the thing holding a lot of people back. Take some caffeine if you need to, right? I don't usually need to, but if I do, I definitely can access more of that 60%. In addition, track your weights, bro, right? If you see the weight you did last time, right, you're much more likely to not quit when you're right about to hit the PR, right? You need to do everything in your favor to make it so your brain doesn't quit at that 40% and gets to that 50, 60, 70, all the way up to 100. I don't even know if it's possible to get to 100, but it's that should inspire you guys. It should inspire you that the limit is so much higher than what the average human does. And that's why, guys, you'll see guys crazy physiques, right? I want you to watch how those guys train who have crazy physiques. One thing in common, they push themselves to failure. They give maximum effort, right? Simple as that. And then you have technique, of course, right? A good split, a good amount of volumes, good mind-muscle connection, but everything comes downstream from effort, brothers. All right? I love you guys. If you want to ensure the fastest and the best results, hit me up, right? I do take one-on-one coaching clients. All you have to do is book a call. We'll see if we're a good fit. But, brothers, having a coach is absolutely massive. I'm in great shape, and I have a coach. My coach is in even better shape, and he has a coach. It's crazy how it seems like the more people know about fitness, the more likely they are to get a coach, right? And even as working as a personal trainer, man, dudes were so unlikely to get a trainer or even try the free session because their egos are too high, right? Don't let that be you, brother. If it's not me, let it be someone else, but get a coach for your fitness journey. Your fitness is everything. It's your energy. It's your confidence, right? The way people treat you gets better, right? Invest back into yourself. Love you guys. Until next time.